the Hollywood Fringe Festival is such an amazing festival. There's just so much high energy. The energy around the Hollywood Fringe Festival is just tangible, and it feels so good, especially right now as we're slowly coming back into a post-pandemic reality. It's so nice to see people in person and to share this love of art. And I know for a lot of people, at least a lot of my friends, they didn't know that the Hollywood Fringe Festival existed. And I'm inviting them to see all these other shows, because you get this special sneak peek into people's lives and into people's art. And it's so special in this intimate setting. I mean, you really get such an intimate look into and what they've been working on, and different walks of life. You get a lot of edutainment. You're learning about so many backgrounds. Even for myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that world even existed in other productions. And to me, anyone, you don't even have to be a theater lover, I think, to enjoy Fringe, because there's so much to be had and so many stories to be heard. It's fun, honestly. I think if you're looking for something to do in LA right now, the Hollywood Fringe Festival is great entertainment.
People should absolutely go and see as many shows as they can at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. What's fantastic is that you can see them in person safely, but you can also live stream them now. That's the one silver lining of this. What's so beautiful about the Fringe Festival is that nobody is singled out. Any artist who wants to present their material can do so. Of course, they have to choose their own venue, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it allows anyone and everyone to express themselves. Genres from all over the place: comedy, drama, real stuff. A lot of it is just so raw. And what else is really lovely is, because a lot of these theaters that these shows are being performed in, they are a little bit smaller. So you do kind of have a chance to really feel the energy of the room, be up close and personal, and get to know the artist afterwards, after the show. And it's so wonderful to network. So if you are a creative in any sense of the word, it is so lovely to be able to meet a ton of people who are open and vulnerable and wanting to express themselves and be a part of this festival and support other artists.
I've already been to, the reason people should go to the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I've already been to a bunch of plays, and it's amazing, the perspectives, the different genres and the perspectives that you get, and the things that you learn from these shows, and the way the artists pour their heart out, and the amazing art that's created at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I'm never disappointed. Even if I see a show that I'm like, well, I normally wouldn't see that kind of show. I wasn't, it's this way, it's not. Even those shows, I find that there's something in there that is so profound and beautiful that I can take away. I've never seen a show that I thought was like, oh, geez, this is crappy. I always feel like artists that come to the Hollywood Fringe Festival have something to say. They are really passionate about what they do, and they are generous. And I've actually had a lot of artists come to my shows too. I go to their shows, they go to my show, and there's a real camaraderie there that I've actually never seen anywhere else. This is a really unique festival in that way. And so I really think that, yeah, people should see as many shows as possible, because you just don't know what you're going to learn. And what kind of perspectives you're going to come across. And also, as an artist, it's inspiring for me to see all these shows, like, and get ideas for myself, for my future, the shows that I want to produce in the future. So I think this is probably why, in my opinion, people should go and see as many shows as possible. It's just such a creative environment, creative group of artists that come together and produce really interesting, thought-provoking, smart, fun, funny works. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go and see as many plays as possible? I mean, they're all so unique and different. As I said, I've never seen a show, especially this year. I haven't seen one that I was like, oh, this is mediocre. I thought everything kind of had something brilliant in it, even if it wasn't my type of show. Even, I mean, what is that anyway? But like, even if it's not a show that I would necessarily watch. Um, uh, but yeah, I mean, I think it's worth going to as many shows. Plus, you know, they're not as expensive as the Amundsen. You know, like you're not going to pay an arm and a leg to see these shows, which is again another great thing about Fringe is that it's it's affordable. You know, everybody can go see it. So why not go to as many as possible? If it's like $10 or $12.50, you know, you can do a bunch of shows. You can binge all these shows, and get like a real sense of like what artists are feeling and like what they're creating and what they're seeing and you know how they're interpreting what's happening in the world.